Hello, it's DJ Podcast, David James. This podcast is going to be a new type of podcast. I'm contemplating calling it Season 2, but I don't really want to call it Season 2, but we'll figure that out once we get there. And the idea of this podcast here is I'm going to be reading. One thing I want to say is that I'm going to now add the video portion of the podcast, so it's going to be on YouTube. The video portion, I'm going to try, and I don't know, I'm not going to put a lot of time in editing it. It's going to be like a raw, uncut video version. So you might see me get up and like get something to drink. I'm going to try and and stop the video even during those moments, but there are moments where I do just stop the recording and stop what I'm doing and kind of like try and find something on my phone, or I need to reference something. But anyways, this podcast, I'm going to start. I'm not going to be reading this 100% word for word like an audio book, but the book is The Inner Work. It's a really good like spiritual book. It's written by, I don't know, it just says the yoga couple, Matt and Ash. I mean, I don't know who wrote this. Mathew, Maicheletti, and Ashley Cottrell. It was written in 2019, updated versions 2022. So it's recent, and what it is, well, it's a book that it's almost like I should just kind of let the book explain itself. Welcome to the greatest adventure of your life, the journey of back to your true self, the embodiment of pure love, true freedom, and lasting happiness. The path is simple, yet many find it to be the most challenging of all. This is, however, is entirely up to you and your own willingness to surrender resistance, as it is only through releasing the unhealed wounds within your consciousness that you can remember the true peace, unconditional love, and eternal joy waiting to be revealed within you. And so it's a book that is just it's helping you self-guide through finding the real you. That's what it is. And so I'm gonna read some of the book. I'm gonna explain how I see it, and we're gonna go through it together. And that's kind of what it is. So, like, more from the book. The shift out of the old and into the new paradigm of true freedom and lasting happiness can transform your current life to heaven on earth. For this state of consciousness, there is no longer anything wrong or out of place. All is love, all is divine, all is perfect. So, throughout this whole book, and they talk about consciousness, and I talked about that in my previous episodes of my podcast, exactly what consciousness is. Consciousness is your higher self, it's your soul, it's your guiding light, almost think of it. It's what is guiding your physical reality. Okay? It's yourself telling you to choose your highest passion in life and go with it. Okay? So that's consciousness. So this whole book is kind of bringing you to that, and it goes into Jesus, and you get all these people it's dedicated to: Jesus Christ, Krishna, Buddha, Uganda, all the like religious leaders, Ram Dass, and then like people like Carl Jung, Michael Singer, Neil Diamond Walsh. It goes and has quotes from all these people, and I love it, and it takes it apart. So let's just start kind of getting into my favorite passages. That's kind of like what and where I want to go with it. All right, so this first passage that I want to discuss, they call it the chase, okay? The illusion is that the closer we move towards our goals and aspirations, regardless of what they are, the closer we feel, the closer we feel we will be to the horizon of freedom and joy. The definition of a horizon, however, is the limit of perception. There is no actual line at the edge of the earth for which the sun is to set behind, just as there is no actual milestone, experience, place, or person which can give us happiness. Therefore, no matter the speed at which we pursue the horizon, our wanting the horizon will continue to move further away. Because even when we do successfully acquire the object of desire, we ultimately still left to face the mundane frustrations of everyday life. Boy, that I just love. Just back to me here. I just love that like, think about that. The horizon is always moving. The horizon is always changing. And even when you grab a hold of what you consider to be the thing that will make you happy, you're gonna be disappointed. And a big part of this is because you're not really making your true self happy. You're just having an item or a job or something that you're defining as happiness. Oh, if I get this job, I'm gonna be so happy. And it's like, hold on, wait a second. Will it or won't it? Right? We have to look at things for what they are. Because oftentimes when you get a new job, you find yourself miserable and tired and sad. It's the same old job again. It's like, oh boy, I need another new job. But this was the one you were searching for, you know? So back to the book. Circumstances inevitably change people. Let us down. Obligations arise. Challenges surface. And life doesn't always go the way we planned. We innocently believe that when we arrive at happiness, we will finally be able to escape these daily struggles. So the struggle, back to me. So the struggle is you will always have these daily struggles that you have to deal with, right? But it's how you deal with it, it's how you perceive it, it's how you go on with it. So to make yourself happy, you will be finding, and that's one of the frustrations of being human, is that we achieve the goal and we're not happy with it. Back to the book. But without actual healing the root of our dissatisfaction with life, and evolving our consciousness, our problem will only continue to resurface again in new forms. No matter where we go or what we do, this fragile mentality mistakes happiness, freedom, inner peace, and love as things that are given or taken away from us in an instant. When someone says something like we don't like, inner peace is replaced with worthy or defensive. All right. When someone says something we don't like, inner peace is replaced with worry or defensiveness. If someone falls short of our expectation, joy is replaced with disappointment. If obligations arise, we are filled with resistance. If someone interrupts us, we are triggered with impatience. The result of this externally focused perspective is that we have allowed circumstances and other people to bestow good or bad emotions upon us, wrongly accrediting them as the givers or thieves of our joy. However, both favorable and unfavorable emotions are neither the result of conditions of other people's actions. They are the direct result of which theme of consciousness will be living in our chosen responsibility to our life circumstances. So let's just break that down, right? And that's where I want to go with this podcast. It's just kind of breaking that down. I just like think about that. I'm gonna reread a couple of these lines. The fragile mentality mistakes the fragile mentality mistakes happiness, freedom, inner peace, and love as things that can be given or taken away from us in any instant. So it's basically saying that we ourselves see things like happiness and freedom being given and taken to us and taken away from us, right? And they say when someone says something we don't like, our inner peace is replaced with worry or defensiveness. So when someone says something we don't like, we are taking that and replacing inner peace, our own inner peace, with our worry or defensiveness. If someone falls short of our expectations, joy is replaced with just disappointment. So when we have an expectation of what should happen and it doesn't happen, because think about it, all the times that we expect something, all the times that we expect this to happen, you're so before the event happens, we're always so joyful. Oh yeah, let's go to Disney World. It's gonna be fun. Let's have a blast. Da 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 da. It's gonna be great. Oh, this wedding, this party is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast. Da 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 da. And then something falls short of our expectations. So that joy is then replaced with disappointment, which goes to some of my previous podcasts saying expect nothing, right? As soon as you start expecting things, that's when you become frustrated. You become angry. You start feeling those physical emotions. And then those emotions start to get to you. They start to eat away at you. And that's what this is saying right here in the book. If obligations arise, we are filled with resistance. If someone interrupts us, we are triggered with impatience. So immediately before this, and I kind of had this moment just literally now. I wanted to record this podcast about an hour ago, and then a friend of mine called, and I was immediately like, I don't have the time to do the podcast. I sat down to do this podcast, and now I'm frustrated. Now I'm mad. I'm angry, and it's like, hold on, and I literally just read this. It all happened like it was strange. I read it, and then someone came to my door. I kid you not. I have never had anyone come to my door. And so I got up, and they talked to me. I answered the door, and they were like, I want to do this Bible study reading. Would you be interested in hosting Bible study? I politely just dismissed it. It's not something I would do. It's not something I'd be interested in doing. Okay, then I'm trying to sit down again, record a podcast. It's what I want to do today on my day off, record a podcast. Okay, friend calls. Yeah. But we had a good, meaningful conversation. I'm glad to hear that she's doing well. It was actually kind of uplifting. But I was becoming impatient. And I realized that it was a moment, it was just kind of like, the moment to record the podcast were coming, because I was also sitting here. Last night I went out, and this morning I woke up. I was kind of stinky and sweaty. And I needed to take a shower. And it's like, wait for the moment. Sometimes you just have to wait for the moment. Patience is hard to find. That really is true. It's because we're always trying to fulfill what we want to do throughout that day. And no matter what, there are going to be people and struggles, and just go with the flow. You have to remember, go with the flow. That mentality of go with the flow literally means, in my mind, it's like I just said, I read this this because this was the passage I wanted to start with in this podcast. And someone came to my door. Then my friend called, and then my other friend called, and then a work texted me, and this and that. And it's like, boy, my patience is. Why is my patience running thin? Because I feel like somebody is taking. See, the fragile mentality mistakes happiness, freedom, and inner peace, and love as things that can be given or taken away from us in any instant. See, so it's going back to that line. My patience is being taken from me. No, it's not being taken from me. I'm just not going with the flow. So we're going to go back to the book here. If someone interrupts us, we are triggered with impatience. The result of this externally focused perceptive is that we have allowed circumstances and other people to bestow good or bad emotions upon us, wrongly accrediting them as the givers or thieves of our joy. That's what I'm trying to say. We are putting this emotion into that person. This person called me, took my patience away. This person came to my door, took my patience away. Right? However, both favorable and unfavorable emotions are neither the result of conditions of other people or actions. They are the direct result of which theme of consciousness we are living in our chosen response to our life and circumstances. Sorry, I need to take a drink there. So the thing is that we are putting these like it's almost a notion that was instilled in us from a little kid, that these things are being taken or given away from us. But it's really it's not how it is. So I just kind of wanted to say like just think about all this. All these words are just so good, and I just love it. Introduction, back to the book. Introduction to themes of consciousness. Scientific discovery has now revealed that everything in our universe, including human thought and emotions, is composed of vibrating energy. Each unique and varying in the calibration of frequency. Themes of consciousness reflect these variant frequencies, which are universal to humanity and represent the overall equality of experience each of us is having from our own vantage point. We can think of themes of consciousness as the lenses through which we view reality. Thus, the frequency we are in, or the theme of consciousness our soul is occupying, dictates our level of suffering, pain, joy, love, peace, and overall level of satisfaction of our everyday life. So I just want you to think about, like, a lot of my podcast is talking about raising and lowering your vibration, raising and lowering your frequency in order to change the reality of which we perceive. Right? I'm always quoting Bashar, the extraterrestrial who channels Daryl Anka, and I'm quoting these past life people and all that, and it's always coming down to changing your frequency. And even scientists are starting to figure out that everything is basically a vibration. It's basically a frequency. It's almost like a TV channel, right? You can change your frequency and perceive and change the way that you perceive the world, and then the world around you will slowly manifest. You will then slowly manifest your goals and dreams and desires if you can change the way that you view things and the way that you see things. It's going to change everything that's around you in your life. And I guess I can show this in the video. You know, this book has like all these different diagrams. It's really good. So the process of awakening, and I think I'm gonna read this and kind of. I don't want to make these podcasts super long. I'm aiming for about 30 minutes. This is the inner work of removing all obstacles of which stand in the way of our rightful inner peace, freedom, and joy. And luckily, the only obstacle we encounter along the journey is ourselves. Boy, that's deep right there. Our biggest obstacle is ourselves. Isn't that good? So that means you are in control of your life. That's what I read from this. It is all within our own control to evolve our consciousness and to transcend our limiting programs. It is only a question of willingness to surrender and receive the goodness that is innately a part of us. Innately meaning it's this word is tripped me up sometimes. So I'm just assuming it could trip you up. It innately is something that is embodied in us. It's buried. It's attached to us, right? So just that little definition there. Everything we are seeking outside of ourselves is actually already resting in the palms of our own hands. As resistance to accepting and enjoying deep happiness and fulfillment in our lives ultimately stems from a wounded theme of consciousness, the theme that we innocently inherited as some part along the journey. Through the repeated beliefs, thought, and emotions, and finally in our own words and actions, this limited version of our potential becomes the sense of who we are. We then eventually find ourselves stuck in a groove, a pattern of life that we begin to accept as just the way things are. Luckily, it is completely possible to realign every aspect in our lives back to infinite peace. It is only a matter of looking within ourselves and becoming self-aware. Who looks outside? Here's a quote. Who looks outside dreams? We look inside awakes. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakes? Carl Jung. Jung spelled with a J. Jung. So basically, that this whole book is trying to teach you and is helping me, and hopefully I'm helping you understand that your consciousness, your true self is really your consciousness. It's really it's all inside you. All the physical reality stuff, we get stuck in these patterns, these holdings, these things that physical reality forces upon us. We do all this, and we say, well, this is what it is. This is what no. Find the real you. If you find the real you, and this is what I want to help you through this journey do. I want to help you find the real you through my podcast, through the YouTube channel that I'm doing. And that's my goal right now, is to help people. And I'm going through it. This is the first time, this is my first read of this book, so I'm not certain what's in it. I am going to read it and then reread it to you and kind of break it down, right? But, it's my viewpoints, and then the viewpoints are heavily influenced by the book and all the quotes in here. I mean, I did very, very short research on this Carl Jung guy. He's He's kind of the opposite of Freudian psychology, and I'm finding that it's like the more I look for spirituality, the more it comes to me, and it's like, hey, this is really helping me find myself going through a divorce. I need to change my mindset. I went through a divorce. Like, that is done. It's over with. It was painful. It was horribly painful. I'm so glad we didn't have kids involved in this experience. I'm so glad that all that. I mean, I look at it now, man, I don't know. Am I happy we didn't have kids? I'm not. I don't know. We didn't have them, and it's a positive I gotta take out of it right now. I've lived I lived on my own for a year. That has been a huge challenge. I have had a lot of time by myself to sit and ponder, and I needed that time. Without that time to sit and ponder, I mean, I was in a really dark, depressed state. And just now, my mom passed away. One of the biggest influencers in my life. And finding this spirituality, finding this has really helped. The thought that and I talk about it in previous podcasts as well. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. I have to stop occasionally and just cough it out here. I feel like I've been in this cold for like 3 freaking weeks. But anyways, finding this is really the idea of you exist. Non-existence doesn't exist. That's the definition of non-existence. So you exist. Your soul, you are your soul. This physical reality is not you. It's just a body. It's a vessel. It's that's all it is. The real you has been living for billions and millions and billions of years. That's what you have to remember. You exist. Everything exists here and now. So all the multiple realities, the multiple universes, the multiple dimensions, they're all out there. And everything, the future of yourself, what we perceive as time, present, future, past, is only relative to us humans because we're here on Earth right now, and we've built a construct of time. So everything, all these parallel universes, these multiple parallel universes, are all happening exactly right now. They're all happening right now. It's not a different version of you. It's the same version of you. Seeing these, you can change your frequency, you can change your vibration, you can raise your frequency, you can become the best you can be, and therefore, the reality that you perceive will shift to the reality that you want. That is the idea of this entire spirituality thing. It's the core basic teaching you. It teaches you that the real you is your highest self. Your real you is your soul. It's connected to the all. It's connected to the source. It's connected to God, if you want to call it God. It's connected to the top spirit, and you are part of God. You are divine. You are divine because you are made from divinity. You are made from God. So if God made you, then you are part divine. That's something that you have to realize. You are part of the all being God. You are part of the all, and without you, the all does not exist. Without you, the all does not exist. And for anyone on the YouTube wondering why he's closing his eyes, it's just easier for me to talk sometimes. The video portion of this is just so you can see me and put a face to it. This is me. This is the real me, and I'm not real professional. But the video, I dress how I dress. I look how I look. I can't give full eye contact. My awkwardness. I'm very awkward. I'm very shaky. I'm very fragile. That's who I am. So it's just, you gotta bear with it. But I'm giving you the real me. That's what I want everyone out there to understand. This is the real me. It's the unmasked. These days we're talking about being masked and unmasked. You want to see the fake me? Go join me in retail setting where I have to pretend to be a corporate manager of a business. That's my job, right? It's being the corporate manager of the business. And even though, I'm at the store level, but you want to see the fake me, you can come buy a sandwich from me. If you want to see the real me, you sit here and watch the YouTube. Anyways, and that's what this spirituality has done. It's helped me become the absolute me. That's what it's done. It's helped guide me towards becoming the absolute me. And I found this book online. It came to me online, and I bought it, and I said, this is the next podcast I'm doing, and here we are doing it, and I just love it. And hopefully that's why my podcast is called My Gift for You. Hopefully you find this podcast and you kind of say, hey, I like this guy, I like what he's saying, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start becoming the best me I can be. I'm going to start putting passion into everything that I do. I'm going to find my highest excitement. I'm going to find the joy and happiness in my life. And I hope that you find the message and you take it and you go with it, and it becomes something that you become the real you. That's what I'm hoping for. So anyways, like I said, I don't like these things to become super long. We're at 33 minutes, which is perfect. So I'm going to sign out. And that was chapter 1. I kind of read you through most of chapter 1. I skipped a little bit of it because it's some of it's kind of redundant. But it's good that it's redundant because it helps you understand. Like they really try and help you understand exactly what they're trying to say through these pages and words and stuff like that. It's not necessary for me to read the entire word from word. I get close. I break it down. I don't change the meaning of any of it. I just kind of tell you how I'm reading it and how I'm doing it. Anyways, DJ Podcast, David James. This is my gift for you. Signing out. And I'll be back. We're going to do chapter 2 next. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I'm not certain. Expect nothing. That's always a good theme to have. DJ Podcast signing out. I'm going to take you back to the hustle and bustle of your life. We're going back. That was the beginning sound. It's your life overtaking you.